can I read this in a week? Can I, Nick?
Your safety is important to us. Please
Do you
pause
need
for a moment to begin.
Give me the plot.
There's a girl gets put under a mountain, and she's kept there.
Wrong
by
series.
a
Wrong
bad
series.
man.
Wrong series.
Okay. And then there's a guy named Kale. And it's spelled weird.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So this is what I want to do. I started the tandem read of Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn last week, but I was really distracted and somehow like going back and forth between the books, only reading these 3 chapters and moving on to the next chapter in the next book. It wasn't a good reading experience for me. I couldn't get into either one of the books. So I decided to abandon ship and just read Empire of Storms all the way through in the traditional reading order. I hope I don't regret the decision. So I started, I think chapter 17, 157. And I'm now on page 218, chapter 23. I'm a slow reader. And the goal, and it's not gonna happen, but the goal is to finish reading this entire book by the end of the week, by the end of vacation. I'm gonna take you along for our family vacation. Every year my dad rents a lake house. I'm looking out at it right now. It is a rainy, cloudy day, unfortunately, but a very good day to get some reading in. So I'll check in with you guys in a bit. So I'm on page 269. Right now, Alide and Lorcan, I don't know if I'm saying those names right, are traveling with the carnival under the disguise of being a married couple. And what else is going on? Oh, Aelin and Dorian and Rowan and Adian are in Skulls Bay. Oops. Oh my goodness. Figuring out their next step and whether or not they're going to be able to convince Rolf, the pirate lord, to join forces with them. Aelin was told to get the lock for the word keys. So it seems like these 3 different forces or powers are coming together, and it seems as if the war is pending. I don't know. It's hard for me to stay invested in a storyline when the book keeps bouncing back and forth from storyline to storyline. I don't feel like I have enough time to build up that suspense or investment in one storyline before it bounces back to the other. And this is one of the reasons why I decided not to do the tandem read. But even within Empire of Storms, we have the whole Manon storyline, the Aelin storyline, we had the Rowan and Dorian storyline, and then we have the Alide storyline. I don't know, it just feels disjointed jumping back and forth. So I don't feel like I'm desperate to keep reading or keep turning the page. But I'm still here. I'm definitely finishing this series. I'm just feeling a little lukewarm at this point. But wow, what a beautiful day on the lake. We went kayaking earlier. I just had some lunch. It's just a perfect day. All right, I'll check back in later. It's another rainy day at the lake. I don't know, call me crazy, but I think I enjoy the rainy days almost as much as the sunshine. it's just the perfect time to read and be cozy and not feel guilty, I guess, for missing time out in the sun. So I'm on page 411 and we are making progress. I'm definitely more invested in the story than the last time we've chatted. A lot has happened on the Aelin Rowan side of things. So we have the superficial, I guess, conflict and threat of violence from her many enemies, and her attempts at strategy and making allies and showing the force and strength of her magic to send a sign or to send a message to the rest of the world, to Erwin. And then you have kind of the underground simmering supernatural aspect of it. And this is the part that I'm most interested in. Like, what is Aelin's role in this recurring drama and conflict between the immortals? One thing that I don't love is snarky banter, because it just seems so wildly unrealistic to me. I don't know, maybe other people talk like this, but I don't, and the people that I know do not, especially in high-stakes situations where very powerful people are clashing. I just can't imagine like witty insults and little asides that, I don't know, one-up someone would be actively used in negotiations and conflict resolutions.
Took the long way, didn't mind the time. Cracks in the pavement still let me ride. You were humming some old tune. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Windows down, chasing June. And we didn't have a plan, just a beat in a second-hand van. So keep it in the light, don't let it fade. We got a little love and a mess we made. Raise a glass to the lost and found. Hearts like ours still come around. Hey, we're still around.
Two truths and a lie.
No, actually, take that video down. I need to think about it. It's too quick.
Dad, two truths and a lie.
I'm thinking. We gotta give us time to think.
But I didn't have time to think.
You all had plenty of time to think.
Brittany, 2 truths and a lie.
Somebody test me. Somebody test me.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brittany.
Make a wish.
Good morning. So I'm on chapter 63. I think it's page 589. I've got about 100 pages left, and the story has really picked up at this point. I feel like it's much harder to put the book down than it was earlier on. There was a moment that actually made me cry, where two of the main characters who had been separated for 10 years and didn't know that the other had been alive finally reunited. It was a really good moment. I do think I'm gonna finish the book today, maybe. I was supposed to fly out today, but my first flight is significantly delayed, and it's going to make me miss my connecting flight. So I had to rebook the whole trip for tomorrow. So instead of getting ready for the airport, I pretty much have an open day to hang out and read, which is fine by me. It's an interesting thing to read a book while you're traveling, because I feel like you have this extra layer or extra dimension
of memory and experience that comes from the story, comes from what you're reading, but is also placed in your mind, in your memory, in the place that you're currently visiting. Like, I think back on past vacations and I remember specifics about that vacation because I remember what book I was reading. And it just adds, I don't know how to explain it. I feel like it adds a vibe or an emotion or some additional surface area for memories to attach to.
Took the long way, didn't mind the time. Cracks in the pavement still let me ride. You were humming some old tune. Windows down, chasing June. And we didn't have a plan, just a beat in a secondhand van. So keep it in the light, don't let it fade. We got a little love and a mess we made. Raise a glass to the lost and found.
You know what we gotta do?
What do we have to do?
We have to accept it. We have to accept our fate. It's up to us to be.
How long will you accept our fate for? I am finally home. Oh my gosh, that was a travel day from hell. I think I already told you our first flight 2 days ago was delayed and it was going to make us miss our connection in DCA. So we decided to rebook that flight for the following day, yesterday. The first flight is fine. We get there around 1 p.m. maybe. The next flight back home keeps getting delayed every 20 minutes or so. We spent, I think, 8 hours in Washington, D.C. just waiting for this flight. So the flight gets canceled. We look into booking a hotel in D.C. and maybe flying out the next morning. Almost all of the flights the next day were booked. So we instead decided to rebook our connecting flight to a different airport and then rent a car and then drive home the rest of the way. We didn't get in the door until maybe 3 a.m. It was absolutely crazy. But the update that's relevant for this vlog is that I finished the book. I finished Empire of Storms. Oh my goodness, the cliffhanger at the end of this book is wild and really sad. Everything that happened, oh my gosh. I feel like I can't really talk about it without giving away details and giving spoilers. I understand why people recommend doing the tandem read because you finish this one book with a crazy cliffhanger and then you go to Tower of Dawn, which follows a different group of characters. So you don't get the resolution to Empire of Storms in Tower of Dawn. It's a different storyline. It's a little bit frustrating. I knew that because I started this as a tandem read. I wasn't so much into the tandem read as I explained before, but I can definitely understand why people recommend to read these books together because they happen on the same timeline. I think it's easier to take in all of the information and end with such a crazy cliffhanger in Empire of Storms and then know you're going right into the next phase of that storyline. I'm still glad that I'm reading them separately. I think that's just better for my brain. Anyway, thanks so much for coming along on this family vacation with me. If you want to see more videos like this, more reading vlogs, more deep dives into Throne of Glass, ACOTAR, Crescent City, make sure you subscribe and say hi in the comments. And I'll see you next time.